I want to show you how I recycle Nespresso and compatible pods. Really simple rubber mallet, piece of chipboard or melamine, my piece here 100 millimeters by about 200, a piece of 90 by 45 millimeter pine that I've cut 45 millimeters long, a piece of broom handle, and the only tools I used was a 22 millimeter spade bit, 28 millimeter spade bit, a Sharpie, and a steel ruler. 28 millimeter hole through the middle of my board, and I'll explain these marks in a minute. The piece of 45 by 90 pine, you can see that it's got a step in there. I have drilled the 28 millimeter hole partially down to about 24 millimeters deep. Just take my word for it. And then I've continued on with the smaller bit. So that just created a step there. A piece of 22, roughly 21, 22 diameter broom handle, old broom that was broken. And it is about 140, 150 millimeters long, not too important. And it has a mark on it that I worked out there, and you can see that's about 25 millimeters, give or take. Not very special. I have just rounded the end off a little bit, and that is all there is to it. I have an old plastic container. This sits on top. A pod sits, now you can see I've got the marks. I should have mentioned I dropped a pod through that way, draw around it, put it up that way. Then I sat the end that's got the recess, carefully sat that over there. And again, I drew around it just to make it easier for myself. And that's all there is to it. Let me show you how it works. Rubber mallet was the other bit of equipment that's necessary. Just a cheap one from Aldi. Pointy bent down. So there's my pod, roughly lined up. And all I do is smack it until this line comes flush with air. And out it comes. And I'll do another one. It is that simple to do. And you just work your way through, just down to the line. That's all there is to it. I'd like to just explain that line. I determined that when that's flush with that end, then I have about 24 millimeters exposed at the other end. Okay, after just on 5 minutes, I've done 50 pods. I'll give those a rinse around and they will go into recycling. There's my coffee grounds. Now you can see there's some filters in there. I don't know whether they'll break down, but I will take those out before I'll put the coffee grounds into my garden or my compost. There is a little bit of aluminium fragments in there. I'm not too worried about those. I think that will just break down over time. But there we are, 5 minutes with some simple pieces that anyone could make up, and you too could recycle your Nespresso pods.